All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Milton Equestrian Committee meeting. Please note that we do have a quorum. But before we move forward and officially call the meeting to order, we do need to go through our 2026 election of our chairperson, vice chairperson, and secretary. So we'll go through each. I'll ask for nominations. We'll motion, we'll second, we'll pass, and then we'll do that for vice chair as well as our secretary. So starting with our chairperson, are there any nominees?
I would like to nominate Tony Rich, please.
Any other names to throw out in the hat?
Are we nominating?
You have to second it.
He fell off.
Okay, I second.
Oh, so we have a motion. We have a second.
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, bear with me. I am having to. And
I'll fill you.
Teresa.
Hopefully you'll come back.
All right. Moving on to our vice chairperson. Do we have any nominees?
I would like to nominate Shannon Regan Quidley as vice chair.
I'll second that.
Any other options? Always like to throw that out there. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Last but not least, our secretary. Any nominations?
I would like to nominate Teresa Jarmus as secretary.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Tony, I will pass it off to you then.
Great. So I will say the first year I was on the committee, there were multiple nominations for chairperson, and it was a little weird. But
Awkward.
A little awkward.
Yeah, I like awkward.
anyway. All right. Well, good evening, everyone. I would like to officially call to order the monthly meeting of the Milton Equestrian Committee. The date is Wednesday, January the 7th, 2026. As I call your name tonight, please confirm your attendance. Nan Buckner,
Present.
Kyle Hester,
Present.
Teresa Jarmus,
Here.
Greg Rathjen,
Here.
Shannon Regan Quidley, Tony Rich is here. We do have a quorum. Would everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. So the next item on our agenda is the approval of the meeting agenda. If everyone has had an opportunity to glance at the agenda for tonight, if I could get a motion to approve the agenda as written.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda this evening.
I'll second that.
All right, I've got a first from Ms. Buckner, second from Mr. Rathjen. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, the agenda is approved. Next on our agenda is the approval of past meeting minutes. We did not meet in December, so the minutes in front of you are the November 19th, 2025 minutes. If everyone could give them a quick review, and would appreciate a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Got a first from Dr. Jarmus, second from Ms. Buckner. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, the minutes are approved. Emily, do we have any public comment?
We do not.
Perfect. All right, moving on. The next item on our agenda would be staff updates. Our only item here is update on the Birmingham Park Cleanup Day.
Super. I'll
I'll
take it.
turn to you.
Jen Young is our outdoor recreation supervisor who has been coordinating some of this Birmingham Park Cleanup Day, which is historically an equestrian committee event. And Jen's kind of coordinating the side of it where we can get some of our adopted trail members in. So a reminder, a refresher, especially for our new friends. Jen has divided it out this year where we're going to identify crew leads that will be in charge of a team to go down each trail. So in theory, each trail will have a crew lead who is going to assist with people with, I don't clearly do any of this, chainsaw, stick removal, able to lead a team. So from you guys, she does need if you guys are willing to fill that role and be that for that February 28th cleanup day, or if you are able to identify a member of the community who is able to fulfill that role. Any ideas? Not to put you on the spot.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to
Okay.
jump in. No problem.
Okay.
Just
Besides,
with.
do we have a head count from you all who will be available that day?
I plan to be there.
What was the
Okay.
date again?
February
February
28th.
28th.
It's a Saturday.
I will be out of town.
Saturdays are really hard for me with my store. I've never been able to make this event.
Okay.
Tell me again the time.
We normally start right at 8 a.m.
Yeah,
and I think it goes till about 11.
yeah. Oh, yeah. And even if you could come for an hour. Yeah.
For sure.
I've had people come at 8 o'clock and at 9:15, they got to go to a baseball game or something. And that's no big deal.
Perfect. She'll also need somebody because historically it's Julie Shannon and Susan Day will run the volunteer check-in table. If one of you guys are available to do it, would be great. It really is just checking in volunteers and assigning them a crew lead is pretty much it. Let's see.
And we could always, Julie could be our, I don't know what the word honorary, if she's back in town, we could always try to. recruit her.
Absolutely.
In a concierge type of
Yeah,
role.
I love it.
We have a rain date for it.
I don't believe we do.
I haven't heard about anything like that, yeah.
I don't believe so.
We
Last year
do.
you had to.
Yeah, I think we ended up going to our rain date last year.
Yeah.
You want to ask Jen if she's got
Mhm.
a date in mind? And at least we can kind of have that, because I know we get into March, we start getting into spring breaks and stuff, right?
Right.
Well, not just that, the unpredictable spring weather.
Yeah,
That late in February, we're going to be looking at spring.
yeah. And, I'm all about getting out there in February because it'll be nice and cool, hopefully. But the only downside to that is that, one of the things we try to do is we try to spray all the weeds and stuff and, it's popping. And a lot of times late February, nothing's come up yet. If it's cold in late February, we're probably not going to have any poison ivy to spray. So
Right.
anyway, if you can just let us know if there is a backup date,
Absolutely. I'll check in on that.
that in our mind.
And then the last item that she wanted me to share with you is for you guys to share with your equestrian community on your Facebook group pages, the Birmingham Park page, or I think the Cherokee page is fairly active. So if you guys wouldn't mind sharing out that information, we'd love to have as many people come out. I think we had about 50 people last year, which was great and
A
wonderful.
good group
but
last year. Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely
the,
one of the reasons we need that crew lead in those specific teams.
the Cherokee group is pretty active, and there's a gal named Madison Jarvis who tries to organize trail rides there, like at least one a month. She's done 2 or more.
Okay.
And I have let her know the date, but I'll reiterate that and get something up on that Cherokee Equestrian page because
Okay.
those people use the park a lot.
Absolutely.
You know her?
Mhm.
You do?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You can reach out to her?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, she's a good
Yeah.
customer at my store.
And I think we're going to try and do a few yard signs, just the plain old stick in the muds to put out
Good.
at Birmingham Park, maybe the
Yeah.
Okay,
week or two beforehand, just so that as people are coming in and passing by that they know,
good.
especially the ones who are using the park. Those are the best people to
Great idea.
especially identify problems that they'll
Mhm.
know that there's a
Yeah.
something on a something trail.
Yeah, that would be a good thing to reach out to them now about, are there areas, since I don't ride over there, I'll try to determine some areas that might be things we need to work on.
Emily,
From a
is there-
rider's point of
Is
view.
there a social media template or something that
just
we can
Like
send?
a flyer.
Right. Or something that we can-
Last year we did have one.
Right.
Yeah, let me check. I'll reach out to Christy in our communications department.
Great.
And I believe that is it from Jen.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for that, Emily. I realize I skipped probably one of the most important parts of our meeting, and that was welcoming our new committee members. So I was just kind of rolling on down the thing. Yeah, I know. Kyle
feels
looked
lighted, I can
dejected
tell.
over there. So. But I do want to take the opportunity to welcome our new members, Kyle and Greg. Greg, you've been coming to meetings for a couple of years.
Ever since I've been on the committee, that's like 6
Yeah.
years.
He used to like it more when we were in our.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, me and you both. But we are glad that you're here. And Kyle, I've gotten to know you over the last couple of years, and I'm just thrilled that you're part of this. And I'd love to have both you guys, just take 30 seconds and tell us what you want to know about you. And, most of us know you, but if you just want to take a quick minute, that'd be great.
Shannon asked me earlier where I was from. So my wife, Cindy, and myself were from originally Perry, Georgia, but we've been in Milton for, this should be easy math, 16 years. And then we've got a farm on the Hopewell Road, which we've had for the past 8 years. And so it's me and her and 4 horses, 2 dogs, 2 barn cats, a handful of farm ducks. I say handful because unless I do a better job of stemming the coyote population, we can't keep count on them. But but no, we absolutely love it here. So that was is why I'm probably grateful to be on the committee and hopefully that I can contribute something meaningful. But I do want to thank Nan and Tony for prompting my nomination. So I do appreciate it, and I don't take this for granted because, like everybody else here, I'm part of the equestrian community, so I obviously strongly support it. As well as the large lot owners, open spaces, all of that's our character, our culture. And, if you put me on the spot, I'd probably say it's a big factor towards the long-term sustainability of the Keep Milton slogan. So again, I look forward to working with everyone and especially since we all have the same goals.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Great.
So I don't take it for granted. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Absolutely.
Kyle.
Appreciate you.
Oh, I'm Greg Rathjen, and I have lived here 31 years in Milton and lucked out and found ourselves a property on the only gravel cul-de-sac in the city of Milton. And we got 3 acres, and then eventually something happened. We ended up with 6 acres, and we put a couple of barns in the back and had horses there. My wife had a 30-plus-year-old Appaloosa, which we had there and assisted living for many years.
Aw.
And the companion horses that we came in and out. And finally, he did, it was kind of one of the first times, I think, the Milton Fire Department had come out with their dealing with the
With the
horses.
dealer, yeah.
Collapsed inside his stall and couldn't get up. He'd had some issues. I can't remember all the details. We had to put him down, and at that point, my wife just said no more horses on our property, but she still maintained a horse and rode around the community. And she finally stopped riding about a year ago at 78 years old. I think it's about time. And,
That's never time to
well,
stop.
no. She didn't like that either. But she was skinny, and she was watching all these people
Right,
getting
right.
injured. She said, it's time to stop.
A lot
It
of
hurts to
work.
fall.
It's a lot of work.
So I've always been equestrian adjacent in the sense that I never have actually ridden myself. And I've done the manure spreading, and I've done all that kind of stuff. So I think I have. We were lucky a few years ago, and we bought acreage over in East Cherokee. And eventually we sold that property to the Mustang and Wild Horse Rescue
Okay.
of Georgia.
Mhm.
And my wife was delighted that we were able to pass that on.
Yeah.
Continue to have the
Pretty neat.
horse, and the neighbors loved it because now there weren't 16 big
Right.
houses being built right there.
Mhm.
Kind of lovely. So I've been retired for 8 years, and I have been, before that was college professor years and years and years ago, and then a marketing researcher for several years. So,
You're highly qualified.
or I'm not sure what, but at least I'm highly qualified.
For this.
What did you teach,
I
Greg?
taught political science.
Oh.
But it was constitutional law, so I didn't have any of all the issues about who hated whom. So,
Yeah.
Oh.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Welcome to both of you
Welcome,
guys,
welcome.
and we appreciate your service and the time you're spending with us. So thank y'all very much. All right. Well, with that in mind, we'll move on to the next item on our agenda, and which is new business. I thought we could spend just a couple of minutes talking about fireworks from New Year's Eve. See if anyone had any feedback, good, bad, or indifferent. We won't spend long on it, but anyway, if anybody's got any thoughts, I would certainly open up the floor.
I do.
Go ahead.
So much better this year.
Yeah?
On the first, I didn't have really any, I mean, you could hear them, but they weren't even looking out of their stalls.
Right.
I turned the music on and I was prepared. I was like, oh, God. But you could tell they were far. They were far away. So I think at least people around me abided. So better this year, certainly.
New Year's Eve around my farm was kind of the same. It was pretty quiet. We got a little ramble about 10 o'clock and then at midnight from midnight till about 12:20, 12:25, and then it was done. I was pleased.
That's how ours was, yeah.
And then unfortunately, I didn't get home from work in enough time the next day. And the fireworks started about dark and went until 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah.
Any
it was
particular
bad.
Location, like from the
I
neighborhood?
mean, I'm happy to state the neighborhood, but I don't think I should do that. It's directly behind me, adjacent to the property that Milton owns.
Yep.
And the other neighborhood that's fairly close to me is just a very well-known neighborhood for their own personal fireworks. So the day after, so New Year's Day was really
that's
worse than New
interesting.
Year's Eve.
Were there any fireworks within 200 yards of your property line?
There certainly were. They were right over my back pasture.
Okay.
And it's funny because a friend of mine had put something up about, they were staying home for New Year's Eve. They were going to be responsible. And I said, yes, I'm staying home. I'm taking care of my horses. And someone I don't know chimed in and said, you can put a sign up for your farm that says 200 yards within. What good is that going to do me in a dead end neighborhood at the dead end of a dead end
You can put
street?
it out of the front of your neighborhood, can't you? I put one out on the front of Nick's Road.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. Put one down
That would
there.
be right out on Hopewell. And it doesn't reach the audience it needs
Yeah.
to
Well, the
reach.
police do, and I know that there were phone calls about people when they were blowing off fireworks that were too close, and the police did come and stop it. So,
Really?
Really?
yeah.
Where?
Were any citations issued?
Yeah,
Really?
They did issue citations. It's a first.
Did they
They
give a
issued
ticket?
citations.
yeah, they
No
did.
kidding.
Ticket.
Wow, I think it might be the first. That's cool.
That is the first.
Yeah.
So,
Now, was that
I would-
near your farm?
no, right off of, what is that, Birmingham right there?
Providence.
Providence, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's
So
pretty
they're
good.
enforcing it,
Well, good.
but you
Well,
gotta
and
make a phone
they
call.
always are. If I haven't called for a couple, 4 or 5 years, but they're always very concerned. And I'll have my phone and I'll say, it sounds like a war zone over here. And the dispatch lady always says, oh my gosh, so, I mean, they know.
Well, I'll tell you, I mean, if it really is within the 200 yards, I mean, we've got actually, that's a measurable distance now. I mean, if it's right over your fence and they're booming away over there, I would encourage you to
I was
call,
gonna call the cops.
you know.
So y'all didn't have anything?
And I was ready to,
I
but
was
it
out
seemed
of
to
town.
be,
I was out of town. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
there's a group of houses that back up to my property. And then there's a detention pond in between, maybe 200 yards off, maybe not 200 yards off my property, maybe 100 yards off my property. But the rockets came
I
up
would have called the cops.
over. And, I was reaching for my phone and I was kind of saying like, y'all need to knock it off. I'm calling the police. And then they stopped.
That'll do it.
I did hear through the grapevine, like that somebody at some point in time made a comment about, oh, well, what did the city have to pay for those signs?
Oh, yeah, I saw it.
Oh, that was on the social media page. Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they were complaining about taxpayer money and uses for signs and
I
all that
didn't see
stuff.
it on social media.
Yeah, I saw it on Facebook or somewhere.
What was that huge? We had a giant sign, I think on Providence Road.
Right.
that
Oh,
was
the
saying
electronic one?
fireworks.
Oh, yeah,
Electronic-
like a digital sign, really?
Yeah.
Digital sign,
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
giant thing.
They do those.
Can they do the
Yeah,
Birmingham
yeah.
Park
Yeah, those are
cleanup
nice,
up
yeah.
there? Do that too?
that's
That's a
a
good
good
idea. That's a good idea.
So
Roundabout?
on New Year's Eve was on Wednesday last week.
Mhm.
So on Tuesday, we had a reporter from Fox 5 come out to the farm, and our city manager had teed it up, and they came over and he interviewed us on the news,
Oh, I
talking
didn't see
about
it on
that.
the news.
You should have
You
let us
told
know.
us.
Well, I was in Montana, and he called and said, "Hey, can we do it at your farm?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, that's fine." And he says, "Oh, can you be there?" I'm like, "What?" So
Y'all just hop on a plane.
yeah, well, luckily it worked out. But anyway, it was a great interview.
What was he
Um,
asking?
He wanted to know a little bit about the history of the ordinance, kind of what the just kind of what the whole discussion was that brought us to that point. He wanted to know a little bit about kind of, how horses respond to fireworks, what the real issues were. He kind of just wanted to understand. He asked Steve Krokoff a couple of questions just about enforcement and that type of thing. And it was really good.
Oh, that's
It
cool.
was really good. And then they picked it up again at 5.
Really?
Yeah. And so we were actually on the way out of town, and my wife was looking at it on the phone. And then she kind of recorded it from one phone to the next. But
That's awesome.
but it was interesting. It was really pretty good, and it seemed like it was pretty well received. I don't know.
Cool.
Nobody gave me any hate mail over it or anything. So anyway, yeah. But I was glad that people are interested in it. I was really interested to see that Cherokee County picked up the same
Yeah.
rule, and they're putting signs up all over Cherokee County, which I thought was pretty interesting. So there seems to be a lot of interest in it. And I saw, we were here on Monday night for the swearing in, Alex Fortner, the fire marshal, he was sitting in front of me, and he was talking about it.
Oh.
And he goes, man, every time somebody talks about that whole fireworks law, he goes, I think about you guys.
Yay.
And he said,
Yay.
so, he was pretty excited about it. So anyway, I think all in all, it sounds like, maybe it's a little better.
So much better for us.
Really interested, they gave a ticket.
I left.
I don't think they've ever given a ticket before that I know of.
Okay.
That might have been the first
No,
time.
that is the first one.
Yeah. So
It
anyway,
has to be.
just didn't want to gloss over it without at least bringing it up and see if
Thanks.
it's something
Sure.
worth talking about. So,
Yeah.
all right. So the next item on the agenda is discussion of goals and objectives for this year, 2026. For Kyle and Greg's benefit, a lot of times, in the past, I've wanted to have that conversation in December so that we could kind of start the new year this month, kind of having some goals so we could, kind of put it on paper and stuff. But just, the benefit of having you guys here with us, we kind of punted it for a month. But the idea is really, we've done a couple things over the years as far as how to organize a committee and how to document our goals and whatnot. And I think if we have this conversation and really, put some things in structure, it helps us track progress and get a few things done as opposed to just coming into every month, kind of casual and not really, keeping ourselves accountable to what we want to sign up for. So I guess my only thoughts, and I'll love to open it up to you all, is just think about what individually you want to get involved with for this year. But also think about what you would like this committee to accomplish this year. I think we had 2025, I think was a very strong year. We had some really good accomplishments and a lot of really good topics, like large lot incentives and all that type of thing that is ongoing. But I would just say, let's think about what we want to get involved with this year and see if we can have another banner year. So, thoughts, questions, ideas? Don't everybody speak at once.
Yeah.
Well, personally, we have kind of talked about this. think we should regroup a little bit on the large lot incentives. I think we've kind of gotten in a place that we're not really, that's not our wheelhouse. I want to go back to how do we make the building of the barn, getting the permits, how do we make it easier for people to instead of, I mean, I think it's great. We're talking about 3 driveways and can you have a guest house and all that, but are we really, I mean, is that where we want to spend our time, right? I mean, I would just like to get back to what we were originally trying to do. And also, you know, what is an incentive for a farm owner? I don't know who spoke. I don't remember her name. I'm sorry. You probably do. Who
Diana
spoke?
Wheeler.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
You're talking about Diana from Community Development?
no. The girl that stood up. No, the girl that stood up and she was
Oh,
like,
Julie Zonner Bailey.
why not ask the equestrian population?
Well, see, and that's
What-
my biggest issue. I don't think we really know who we're representing.
Right.
I think, and I'm looking back over my notes of January 2025. We have an opportunity and we don't know how to take advantage of it. We don't really know who these people are. And to be a resource for them, we have to have engagement. And you guys have heard me say a zillion times, oh, I put something out on the Milton Farm Owners Network and I get 0 response. So we've got to find a way to get this community engaged so that we can advocate for a vibrant equestrian community. We don't have a vibrant equestrian community. We have a bunch of individuals out here with everybody doing something different, and that's okay. But if we're going to come together and be the Milton Equestrian Committee, we've got to have some sort of general interest. What is, for me, it's always been like education. I want to give back to the community. I want to have soil testing seminars. I want to have a vet come and talk about worming. I want to do, pasture rotation, whatever. I just think we could be providing resources for equestrians. Like, where are you buying your gravel? Oh, who's picking up your dumpster? Oh, who have you found that, and be a go-to, kind of like with, where do I get this for my barn? Who do I talk to about barn construction? Who are barn builders?
See, I think that's a great goal for the year, is to come up with more of those value adds and services and all. Are those incentives? I don't know that they're incentives, but those are services, certainly, that people, I think, would find interest in.
Well,
I
and
don't think that's going to encourage large lots or people to keep their farms and all, but I do think it would be something that the community would
It
find
gives us more
value.
presence.
It does give us more presence.
well, I'm a salesman. Okay. I've always been a salesman, and I've always known who my customer is. And so I'm kind of trying to define it like this. Who's our customer? Who's our customer? Who are we representing here? And what do they need? We can just start pulling stuff out of our hat and saying, oh, we got a fencing contract for you. But maybe they don't want that.
Yeah.
Maybe they're new horse owners and they don't know who the local vets are. Or they don't even know.
Opening up a can of worms, I feel like we need to ask, how do we go about doing that? Do we do a survey? Do we do?
Well, you mentioned that to me earlier. I don't think a survey is a bad idea. I think we've got a collection of contact points for a lot of these farm owners, right? We either have addresses, email addresses. I mean, I think we've got a decent data
There's
set.
only 6 of us, to Nan's point. I mean,
Yeah,
we
but I think we
only-
should solicit more input from the other Milton farm owners. How that ties into your initial comment about large lot development. I think it's important that we, and we'll get it to you guys, is a copy of the charter of the Milton Equestrian Committee as to why this committee was formed in the first place and what our official responsibilities are. Some of the presentations that we've gotten over the last few months from community development, one of the more recent ones, they were asking us questions about whether or not we thought that 3-acre lots should have tennis courts in the front yard. Well, that has virtually nothing to do with the purpose of this committee, right? So I think things have gotten off the tracks a little bit with some of the discussions. Not that I don't appreciate as a committee, our community development department asking for input.
Right.
That's great, but that's not why we're here. We're trying to preserve farms. And if they are going to develop a big piece of property into, a subdivision, well, maybe we could try to start advocating for subdivisions like Tullamore that are subdivisions but are equestrian friendly. Now, that might be something that we as a committee could add some value on.
Right. With
But-
bridle paths.
but
and a
3-acre
central
subdivisions,
ring.
Whether or not the pool's in the front yard, side yard, or on the roof, I don't think as a committee, that's really
I agree.
our purpose.
That's not a good use of our time.
Yeah.
I agree, but I still will say that we can't represent these people if we don't know who
Well,
they
that's what I'm
are.
saying.
We don't know
Let's do
who
a
they
survey.
are.
So I would really
Survey.
tell you to put that on the list as a real commitment and an objective for the year, is let's figure out a better way to be in touch with our constituents, if that's the right word,
Mhm.
the
Yeah,
people that we
exactly.
represent.
Yeah.
Let's figure out a survey. Let's figure out an email or something to reach out to people and start soliciting more input. I think that'd be really time well spent.
Now, the presentation, you guys all asked a dumb question, but the
Ask away.
presentation for the large lot incentives, I can find that online because I don't
Yeah.
know enough about, shame on me, I should have known
They
more
went,
about
they
it.
went, I mean, every month for
6 months.
6 months, they approached a
It's like
different topic
March or
with us. And they were talking, I mean, there were all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Stormwater management, setbacks. I mean, there was a bunch of topics. And so,
Airbnbs.
Buffers,
Airbnb,
driveways.
yeah, all kinds of stuff.
Home-owned businesses,
Some of which,
short-term rentals.
could affect farms, but a lot of which really affects development.
And but maybe there is that portion segregated that would say it might be something that's applicable. But your point, what you've heard.
If you
hasn't
watch the
been.
videos, you'll watch some of them and go, I don't understand how that has any relevance whatsoever to the equestrian committee.
I expressed a point of view that I felt like they had a collection of small things, all of which should be done. I mean,
Right.
there wasn't anything to object to.
Exactly.
But I didn't see them coming together and having a true meaningful incentive to make you keep your farm longer.
Right, and that's what, my personally, that's what I care about.
Yeah, and
That's
that's
one
what
small piece.
the feeling was that was what the
And I want to
large
hear what
lots were
other
trying to
people
do.
think an incentive would be, like
Yeah.
in our community, okay? Because maybe we haven't thought of something.
Yeah, somebody come up with something, we go, well, that's a great idea, and nobody ever came up with that before. And Greg, you may have been one of the folks after one of the meetings several months ago, you made a comment that, at the end of the day, what really qualifies an incentive has to have dollars tied to it. Because, if you own a piece of property in Milton, Georgia that qualifies as a farm, I mean, this is the most expensive pasture land in the state, maybe, or something ridiculous, right? So for people to actually consider keeping their farm versus selling it to the highest bidder, people have to have a real financial reason to do that. Now, that limits the options a lot, but I think those are some things we need to spend a little more time on. We talked about CUVAs, like conservation easements.
We talked about
Um,
conservation.
I don't remember what the number was, Emily, but I don't even think half of the farms in Milton have a CUVA on them.
And they talked about streamlining that.
Yep, and they were gonna really
The
talk
biggest
about trying to have
incentives.
more of a process internally with staff, on having a point person that really was a CUVA expert. That when landowners in Milton say, hey, I'd like to find out more about a CUVA, they can call somebody on city staff and that person could tell them all about the process.
Or maybe just tell them what a CUVA is.
Yeah.
Because there's gate
Because-
guards, all that. I know people that own a farm and they weren't even aware of it.
Right.
Exactly.
And they can
Until,
Gate guard,
until
yeah,
I got
right.
a notice from the city saying that there was a CUVA workshop, I had no idea
Well,
what.
and it
what
doesn't
CUVA
have
was.
to be, I thought it was 10 acres and over, so I just kind of ignored it.
Exactly.
You can get it.
You can
Yeah.
get
You can
it.
get
It's a
it.
little harder, but you can do
Jump through
it.
some
Kinda
hoops,
late
but you
now for
can
me.
do it.
20 years
So-
ago.
Well, I don't know. But I mean, I will tell you, it'll about cut your taxes in half if you qualify. So anyway,
Well, I mean, I certainly thought about too of could the city do like forgivable loans? I mean, where you basically do a loan out for people to fix their fences or do whatever things they might need on their farm. But that if you stay here every year, you continue in that process, a certain proportion of the loan is essentially forgiven by the city. So you could end up keeping your big farm for 10 years simply because someone got some initial money to make some grant fixes or whatever the others might
That's going to be a lot more than a $2 sign.
Well, admittedly, yeah, the $2 sign might be a good idea. But I
No,
have no
no.
idea about how
I'm
that
just
could be
talking
done.
about the adversary.
I was just playing around with that in my head.
Yeah.
no, I mean, that's how ideas come up. It's just brainstorm on it.
No, and I think too, we do need to really be aware of the fact that there is a very large anti-equestrian movement here, and that those people feel that the city is,
There is one. I haven't picked that up, but I don't know if that's.
just go, anytime there's a city post about the equestrian committee, just read the comments.
Well, but let's be fair. At the end of the day, there are about that many people that drive 90% of those posts
I understand.
that complain about taxpayer funds for equestrian and special interests and all that stuff. It's the same cast of characters that post these things all the time. So is there an anti-equestrian movement in the city, or are there just a handful of,
Disgruntled.
disgruntled people that, are questioning all this stuff? I don't know the answer to that.
I don't know. When we had that big kerfluffle with the park that was going to be built, there were a lot of people that were
Yeah.
feeling that, the equestrians were getting all the benefit of the doubt and that, the city was basically catering to us. And I think there's a really fine line there. The city has to cater to everyone that lives here. That's just the way it goes.
It's true.
And if you have a particular dislike for, I don't know, whatever, baseball, lacrosse, equestrian, whatever, you're entitled to have that. But the reality of it is that if we aren't aware of it, it's going to end up hurting us. And we have to have some sort of defense for that.
Yeah. That's a good point. Okay. So anyway, I guess, my closing thoughts would be that everyone should for themselves decide what you want to spend your time on. I think when we all kind of think through that a little bit, I think as a committee, we get a lot more done. We had subcommittees a couple of years ago and, I think decided that we didn't want to do that, but I do think it's important for folks to think, where can I contribute to the committee and what do I want to spend my time on? And, in that way, everybody's kind of shooting at the same target.
Would a workshop quarterly be something that we could, for us,
for the community?
for us, for ideas, for just, because we're really only allowed to meet in our meetings.
Yeah.
But what if we had a workshop where we brainstormed and it was less formal and perhaps we can throw out some ideas?
We'd have to figure out if we can
Incorporate
have
in the
a
meeting.
separate work session. It'd have to be open to the public,
It would have to be a special called open to the public.
but we could do that
Even
as a
better.
workshop.
Even better.
You could. I would also, because I know we spoke about this maybe back in November.
Yeah.
I know, especially with this large lot incentive, when I spoke to Shuba from our community development department, it's really been broken down into kind of two different parts, right? So part one are these staff-driven incentives, the little ones that you've already seen, and that part two is being considered kind of committee-based ideas and incentives that are being brought forth. With that second part, there's going to be a lot more discussions that are still ongoing and are still happening now that we've kind of gotten part one out of the way, check, move on. And that is where kind of your public input meetings, which is kind of, I think, what you're talking about,
Yeah.
hosting a public input meeting, but it would have to be through kind of our formal system, especially if there's going to be a quorum of you guys. And if
Yeah.
people are doing so, we would want to do it in conjunction with community development. So it might be a good thing to reach out to Diana and Shuba and say, we would like to be doing this moving forward. Is there a time span or a timeline on what this looks like for kind of these part two of the next incentives?
Okay, I think that's a great idea. We can explore that.
I think it would benefit us.
Okay.
Because I kind of get stale, I get, and I thought we've had these presentations so much and then I form an opinion and I need someone to enlighten me from time to time.
Yeah, I agree with you. So can we all agree?
And I wonder if-
Go ahead.
I don't know if we can do this or not, but what about if we had one of our monthly meetings where we really put it out there that we want to get the public's input on large lot incentives? And I know we can't go back and forth with them, but I don't know. Can we, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of a way that we can get other ideas without.
I think it needs to be something more than large lot incentives though, because I have talked to a few farm owners and, people are like, well, I don't really care about people moving here to Milton. What is Milton doing for me?
Well, that's what I mean. Like, what would we need to ask
Yeah.
current farm owners? What is an
I
incentive?
think the idea of a survey or a way to get input
think
from
the
the
survey's
community,
the best.
I think it's a strong idea.
I think that's the
Surveys
best
are
place to
wonderful
start.
tools. You keep them simple. You don't overdo them.
Mhm.
You think about what are the literally one handful of
mhm.
questions that you would want to get input on. Maybe a couple of them are open-ended, maybe. But I think that's a great exercise.
Yeah.
And
I'm
I would
I'm
very
all about
supportive
it.
of that.
I will definitely help you with that.
All right.
Well, I can certainly contribute since I've written about 3,000 surveys.
So
I think that'd be awesome. That'd be great. I think you can jump right, you can make immediate impact on that. We'd appreciate that. So I think that'd be really good.
I'm gonna go
All
back
right,
out,
Greg,
so-
you're our guy.
You said
You're our guy.
I know,
You
yeah.
probably just pull that right out of
This
your
is
hat.
awesome.
My wife said to shut up. So I blew it that way.
We don't get much done when people don't say anything. So, all right, are we good? Okay, well, thank you all very much. So, is there anything else?
I actually do have two quick items.
Please.
Number one, don't forget that our State of the City is 3 weeks from today on January 28th at 6 p.m. We'll do light bites and appetizers from 6 to 7 with the State of the City address beginning at 7.
January 28th,
January 28th. It's a Wednesday evening,
State of the City.
What time does that start?
6 o'clock. And if you'd like to RSVP, fortunately, you know the person who's planning it very well. So
And we've already gotten the email?
talk to me. Yes.
Okay.
You've gotten a save the date back in November, I think
Okay.
right before Thanksgiving. And then you'll get a email on Friday with a friendly
So as I
reminder.
always say, everybody can't make everything, right? Everybody's got a lot of stuff going on in their other world. But it's always nice for these kind of events if we can get a good showing from our committee. So if anyone can make it, please do, but would love to kind of get thoughts from everybody offline on whether or not you think you can be there or not.
I'll be there.
If a
I
handful can be
usually
there,
always-
it's great.
I usually always come, but I can't close my store before 6.
I understand that.
Well, the address fortunately doesn't start till 7. So just close your store and then head on over. 6 to 7 is light bites and appetizers. So you
Oh,
can't be late.
good.
Oh, it's
Okay.
just-
I put it on my calendar.
It's just snacks and hobnobbing before 7.
Snacks, hobnob, talking.
Shaking hands
community.
and kissing babies. Got it.
Precisely.
Or is that shaking babies and kissing
Yeah.
hands?
Whatever.
All of the above.
Tomato, tomato.
And then my second thing was Meet the Neighbors is in 4 months. Planning committee,
Remind us of the
So
date of that
Shannon-
again? Date again?
Hartley Nan.
Partly Nan.
I'll do what I can.
It's April 18th is our scheduled date with our rain backup date as May 9th. And hopefully it will not rain on both days. Agreed,
So I
Teresa.
typed in meet the neighbors on my calendar, and I got meet the neighbors, and the next one says meet at Kyle Hester's house. It's like, nope, not that. So we'll do
Not
meet the
again.
neighbors. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what we
new
need.
Meet the Neighbors
That's
location.
right, it'll be at your place.
That's it.
Perfect. So we'll
Teresa,
get
do
the
you
ball
wanna-
rolling on that, especially given
And
that
what was the
it's
rain date on that?
May 9th will be the rain date.
May 9th, rain date.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good to know.
So my planning friends, I will probably send you guys
Okay.
the application sooner rather than later. I've actually already had people reach out to me
Oh,
wanting to be a
good.
part of it. So
is a good
that's
event.
great.
a
So I
great
would like to
event.
be able to have something to send to them so
Good.
we can have vendors done by
Yeah, that's a fun one.
March 18th.
And
at the
I'd like
latest.
to say something about the fact that everybody always wants us to have pony rides. I don't know if you guys know, but I'm pretty involved with Barefoot Ranch in a lot of ways. And I was talking to them about Meet the Neighbors and trying to get them on the board for this year for pony rides. And unfortunately, their insurance company wants like $5,000 per event for them to take their horses off site.
Mhm.
They're a nonprofit.
That ain't gonna
Yeah,
happen.
good Lord.
Wow.
They can't afford that. And so I don't
Are
know
they the
that
ones
there's
that brought all the horses, not to ride, but just to?
no to
No, they,
ride.
yeah. They
We
did
had other people
full-blown
bring
pony
horses, like meet the
rides.
neighbor, or not meet the
Right.
neighbors. Say the horses brought
Say the horses brought-
just some
Say the
horses,
horses
right?
brought their dwarf minis.
Yeah.
Stacey Edwards brought her Frisian
Yeah, Jackie
um,
brought her donkey.
Mhm.
and Jackie brought her donkeys.
I mean,
Um,
I mean, at least there's some animals. I mean, if we don't have pony rides, I
Yeah,
can't
the kids
imagine
want
somebody's
pony
gonna come up
rides.
with $5,000 to
Right.
let a bunch of kids ride horses,
No.
but at least we could have some live animals on
Or
site.
we can schedule it further in advance because there are places that do this for a living.
I was about to say, we can look into some birthday party
Right.
pony ride
Yeah,
options.
That's what they do for a
I thought
living.
we looked at one.
Last
Well,
time,
now
but
is
they
the
were all booked out
time.
Because it was too
Yeah.
late. So
Oh,
if we
is
do
that what
this
it
ahead,
was?
yeah.
Yeah.
So if we do it ahead of time, I mean, they have the insurance in place already. So why don't we see if we can just get that in place
great
instead
idea.
of worrying about.
Right. Well,
think
that's
that's
why
the
that's
best
why
way.
I'm saying something because I don't have the wherewithal to do
I
that.
appreciate
So
you giving us the
5,000
heads up.
for one event, or was it for the? a
Every
year's
event,
worth?
anytime they take their horses off their property,
Wow.
They gotta pay that for the insurance?
yeah, for a ride or for liability
$5,000 for one
Yeah.
day?
for one day.
They need a new insurance company.
Exactly.
I was about to say.
Looking around a
Stop
little on
carriers.
that one.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty, I could see them paying
Yeah.
$100 or
Birthday
something.
Party pony ride
Mhm.
places.
Agreed.
And they will have other animals too.
Exactly.
Mhm.
We'll have chickens and.
Well, I just wanted to let you guys know that they're out
Okay.
for
No,
that.
thank
Now,
you.
they're
Yeah,
going
I
to
can see
come
it.
and bring a
Makes sense.
booth about their riding for the handicap program and their special needs program and their horse rescue, but they cannot bring horses. So
Totally
I
fine.
just wanted to let people know so that we could get working on something else. I don't know any pony party people, so.
We'll figure it out.
Oh, I'll find some pony party people.
There are.
Okay,
That's all I got.
that's all you got?
Great.
All right, anybody else got anything? Efficient meeting tonight. If there's nothing else, then I would appreciate a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
First, Ms. Regan, second one from Ms. Buckner, all in favor?
Aye, aye, aye,
We're
Captain.
adjourned.
All right.
All right.
That's pretty easy.